All right, welcome. Today, we're going to zero in on one of the most powerful skills you can possibly develop on your leadership journey, communication. And I'm not just talking about, talking. I mean influencing, clarifying, and building real credibility, one conversation at a time.
So let me ask you something. Do you want to be seen as a leader right now? I mean, without having to wait for that promotion or for some new title to drop on your desk. Well, the good news is you absolutely can, and it all starts with how you communicate.
What we're really aiming for here is to build something called leadership presence. You know that quality some people have? They walk into a room or they hop on a call and they just command respect and attention? It's not magic, I promise you. It's a skill, and it's built on a foundation of clear, confident communication.
Okay, let's dive into our very first tool, calibrated confidence. This is all about finding that perfect sweet spot, right between being too passive and being way too aggressive. It's about being heard and respected, but without totally steamrolling the conversation.
Now, this slide just perfectly lays out that fine line we're talking about. See, on the left, you've got confidence. That's stating your point clearly, like, I believe this approach will work because, but you're still open to what other people have to say. It's like an open door. But on the right, you've got aggression. That often sounds like you need to do it this way. It's a brick wall, and it just shuts down any real collaboration. The key thing to remember is this. Confidence invites discussion, aggression pretty much ends it.
And this whole idea of calibrated confidence leads us perfectly into our second tool, mastering the meeting. Look, meetings are probably the single biggest stage you have to show off your leadership presence. It is not about talking the most. It is all about making your contributions actually count.
And you know what the foundation of a great contribution is? Active listening. Just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got someone who's really trying to understand what the other person is saying. They're asking questions to go deeper. On the other side, well, that's someone who's just waiting for a pause so they can jump in with their own pre-planned point. Real leaders listen to understand, not just to get their own turn to reply.
So when it is your turn to speak, don't just throw out a random idea. You got to use a structure. Give a little context, propose a really clear action, and then briefly explain the positive outcome you're expecting. This simple framework makes your point super clear, concise, and incredibly impactful. And we're going to break this down even more in just a bit.
All right, our third tool is an absolute game changer for building trust and accountability. It's all about giving updates, not excuses. Let's be real, things are going to go wrong. Projects get delayed, it happens. How you communicate those challenges is what separates an individual contributor from an emerging leader.
And this slide just brilliantly shows the difference. The excuse, it just shifts the blame. But the update, that takes ownership. It states the problem, it explains the current status, and, most importantly, it lays out the plan to move forward. It tells your manager, your team, everyone, don't worry, I've got this.
Now, you might have started to notice a pattern in some of these tools. There's this sort of underlying structure that makes all of this communication so clear and effective. So let's officially introduce your master framework for leadership communication. This is it, the Context Action Outcome Framework. Seriously, think of this as your secret weapon for pretty much everything. Meetings, emails, quick updates. It's so simple, it's memorable, and it is incredibly powerful.
Okay, let's really break it down. Context is the what or the why. It gets everyone on the same page. Action is the so what, the specific thing you're proposing or doing. And outcome is the why it matters, the positive result of that action. So instead of just saying, hey, can we have a meeting? You say, to finalize the Q3 marketing plan, that's the context, I suggest we book a 30-minute review for tomorrow. That's the action. So we can get final approval and launch on schedule. And there's your outcome. See the difference? It's clear, it's purposeful, and it's so much easier for people to say yes to. So really, the most crucial point to take away from all of this is right here. Leadership is shown through your actions and your words every single day. These communication skills aren't just for managers. They are the very things that get you recognized as a leader in the first place.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Just think about your day tomorrow. What meeting, what email, or what simple update can you approach a little bit differently using these tools? What conversation will you lead using this new framework? Because the practice, well, it starts right now.